You don't get lied to the most by strangers. You get lied to the most by your own brain. Every day we fake smiles, hide thoughts, say I'm fine when we're not, pretend to care, pretend to be confident, and pretend not to see the things that hurt us the most. We deceive, but why? Why do we lie, cheat, pretend, not just to others, but to ourselves? This is not a flaw in your character. It is a feature of your mind. Welcome to the psychology of deception. Origins of the lie: before language, before civilization, before stories, there was survival. And survival demanded one thing above all: advantage. Deception gave that advantage. In the animal world, camouflage is deception. In early human tribes, bluffing strength prevented fights. Pretending to know something bought you time. Lying at its root is not evil, it is evolution. The brain rewards deception when it leads to survival. A child learns early that a lie can avoid punishment. A politician learns that a lie can win votes. A company learns that branding is just sophisticated deception. And the mind learns that the truth is often too heavy to carry. Entire belief systems have been constructed from the need to believe a comforting lie. Societies have shaped their morality, culture, and values around narratives that were not always rooted in truth, but served a psychological purpose. Myths, legends, religious dogmas all evolved not just to explain the unknown, but to create a sense of control in a chaotic world. The mirror lie: self-deception. The most dangerous lies are not the ones we tell others. They're the ones we whisper to ourselves. I'm happy. I don't care anymore. I can handle it. These are survival lies. Self-deception's meant to stabilize a fragile identity. Self-deception is the brain's defense mechanism. When reality threatens our self-image, the mind edits the truth. It suppresses memories, rewrites narratives, and filters perception. You don't remember events as they were. You remember them as your ego needs them to be. This is why therapy often feels like war. It is a war between who we are and who we pretend to be. The mirror lie keeps people in toxic relationships, in jobs they hate, in identities they've outgrown, because the lie feels safer than the truth. The truth threatens to destroy the story we've built about ourselves. And without that story, who are we? The mask we wear. Every human being walks around with masks. The good son, the strong man, the independent woman, the successful one. These are not just roles. They're psychological armor. Society rewards performance, not authenticity. So we perform. Social media has weaponized these masks. We curate the best moments, hide the pain, and craft identities that are pleasing, desirable, and safe. And over time, the mask becomes so tight we forget there's a face beneath it. The deeper tragedy. We fall in love with other people's masks. We admire their success, beauty, humor, without realizing that behind those images are wounds, fears, and insecurities just like ours. To remove the mask, we must first understand why we put it on. Often it begins in childhood, when love became conditional, when being yourself led to shame, when approval came only after performance. The mask became necessary, but now as adults it becomes a cage. The manipulation game. People don't always lie to hurt you. They lie to control outcomes. A child lies to avoid punishment. A partner lies to avoid conflict. A boss lies to keep you working. Manipulation is strategic deception, and it's everywhere. But manipulation isn't just external. Your own brain manipulates you. It tells you things are okay when they're not. It convinces you to stay where you're comfortable even when you're dying inside. The mind uses fear as a leash and reward as a trap. Look closely. Manipulators often appear charming, generous, and kind. They build trust slowly. Then they use it to reshape your perception. The most dangerous manipulations don't look like commands. They look like care. To escape manipulation, you must learn to recognize the patterns. Gaslighting, guilt-tripping, love-bombing. These are not just behaviors. They are psychological scripts written to disarm your awareness. Lies in love. Love is built on 1,000 tiny lies. You're the only one. I will never leave. You're perfect for me. These lies aren't always malicious. They're emotional glue. The brain exaggerates closeness to create safety. The heart believes it to protect itself from loneliness. But when love becomes a stage and not a sanctuary, the deception grows. You pretend to be happy, to be satisfied, to be in love, until one day pretending becomes a prison. Sometimes we lie in love because we're afraid of breaking something sacred, but in doing so, we break ourselves instead. We tolerate more than we should. We accept less than we deserve, because we believe the lie that love must always hurt. Real intimacy begins when the lies end, when you stop performing and start revealing, when love is not about proving anything, but about being seen as you are. The brain's lie detector. Can you detect a lie? Psychologists have studied facial micro-expressions, tone shifts, and story inconsistencies to catch deception. But truth is not in the words, it's in the emotion behind them. The best lie detectors are not interrogators, they're listeners. They notice discomfort, they see what's not said. They hear silence louder than words. Most liars don't avoid eye contact. They give too much of it. They don't speak vaguely, and they speak too precisely. Because the goal is not to disappear, but to appear flawless. And that perfection is unnatural. Learn to watch for hesitation, for repeated justifications, for emotional mismatch. Does the story sound right but feel wrong? Your intuition often knows long before your logic catches up. Breaking the illusion. What happens when you stop lying? When you strip the mask and face yourself raw? At first it hurts. The truth always does. But slowly, clarity grows. You see who you are, who you've been, and what you've been running from. To break self-deception is to build self-awareness, to question your own stories, to look at your pain without filters, and to sit with the discomfort long enough that you no longer fear it. Breaking the illusion means walking away from people who love the fake version of you. It means losing approval, facing judgment, feeling alone. But in that loneliness, something new is born. Self-respect. Living without pretend. You don't have to tell everyone everything, but you have to stop lying to yourself. That's where freedom begins. Authenticity is not saying everything you feel. It is knowing what you feel and choosing when and how to express it. It's living from the inside out, not outside in. It's giving up performance and embracing presence. Being real is not about being brutally honest. It's about being internally aligned. Your actions match your values. Your words match your heart. And your decisions come from truth, not fear. In a world of illusion, being real is rebellion. And in a world full of masks, truth is a weapon. Why we keep lying. Even when we know the damage lies cause, we still return to them. Why? Because truth often requires loss. The loss of comfort, of relationships, of power, of image. Lies let us delay that loss. They act as cushions. But every cushion becomes a coffin when used too long. The more we lie, the more our reality fragments. And the more fragmented we become, the less we recognize ourselves. Until one day we are strangers to our own souls. The courage to be seen to stop lying is not a decision. It's a practice, a daily war against fear, the fear of rejection, of failure, of being misunderstood. It takes courage to be vulnerable, to say, "I'm not okay," to admit weakness, to reveal need. But that courage is the seed of transformation. Vulnerability is not weakness. It's the strongest stance the human soul can take. To be seen, truly seen, is the most terrifying and the most liberating experience of all. People lie, minds pretend, hearts deceive. But beneath it all, there is something real, a core self that doesn't need to impress, perform, or manipulate. When you stop lying to yourself, the world begins to feel different, quieter, lighter, truer. We live in a time where truth is a rebellion, where honesty is feared, authenticity is rare, and silence is safer. But if you can face the lie inside you, the one that says you're not enough, you must be perfect, you have to pretend, you will discover a power no one can take from you. The journey to truth is not clean. It's messy. It breaks you. It humbles you. But it also frees you. Because once you find your real self beneath the layers, there's no going back. And from that place, you no longer need to manipulate, perform, or deceive. You become clear, aligned, peaceful. Not because the world accepts you, but because, finally, you've accepted yourself.